With the recession and everything that's coming at the moment, and inflation and interest rates and everything rising, and being a savvy investor like yourself, what are you actually looking at doing in the marketplace? Would you be looking at buying properties at the moment, or would you be waiting it out to see what happens?
That's a great question. And look, no one knows what's going to happen. I think most people believe that we are going into a recession. So the average person has less money in their pocket. That's a reality, which means they've got less money to spend on other goods and services, which means businesses are going to sell less. They're going to contract. They're going to make people unemployed. And that's the downward spiral into recession. Okay. So that is happening. And there's nothing you could do about it, but you can decide how you feel and how you react to that. Either it's doom and gloom and, oh my God, everything's terrible, or you recognize as savvy investors that, you know what, investing in time of recession is actually the very best time you can invest, because most people are running for the hills and panicking as they did in 2008, 2009. But the savvy investors who know what they're doing recognize it's a great time to pick up opportunity. No, I'm not waiting. I'm actively looking. Like you, I do a lot of work with landlords. There's always people coming into the market, starting, and always people exiting and retiring from the market. So that always happens. But now, over the last couple of years, we've seen more and more landlords looking to retire because of things like Section 24, where we pay more tax if you own property in your own name. So people have been selling up or moving into a company. So going forward, buying in a company is probably the best way to do it for most people. We've got things like in 2025, they're saying that you have the energy performance certificate. It's got to be a level C or above. Well, lots of landlords have to spend lots of money to get their properties up to spec. We're seeing the abolition of Section 21, all these things happening. And add to that, landlords seeing interest rates going up. So the profits they've been making the last 10 years are being squashed. I think we're going to see more and more landlords decide to sell up. So what does that mean? If all that stock comes onto the market over the next year or two, there is a massive, strong underlying demand for accommodation in the UK, which is great. And it might soak up all that extra demand, but it might, all that extra supply, but it might not, which means that property prices might start to decline. Now, if that happens, I think there'll be lots of landlords who remember what happened in 2008, 2009. They saw property prices come down 20, 30% sometimes, and they might think, you know what, maybe I should sell my property now quickly, even if I sell 10 or 15% below the current value, because I don't want to sell when it's 20 or 30% down. And besides, everything they've had since 2010 has pretty much doubled in value anyway. We're going to see landlords retiring, which is a huge opportunity for you, me, and everyone listening, because there are going to be some great deals. And it's going to take courage to invest when the market's coming down. But back in 2008, 2009, when I was guiding people through the last recession, I said, look, guys, as long as you're holding long-term, as long as you're making cash flow, and as long as you know you can rent it out, it doesn't matter if you buy something now and 6 months later it's a lower value, because you're holding long-term. You've only lost money if you have to sell an asset, but it's easier to find deals and get in when prices are slightly coming down rather than when everything's booming and shooting up. So yeah, I'm actively looking for investments. I think there'll be some great opportunities.